How the heck are you guys? I am Fastidious. Welcome back to the channel. We are talking turtles today, as we love to do here, and we are joined by a turtle expert, self-proclaimed turtle genius, the Ninja Man himself, Bront. How are you doing, Bront, turtle herder?
Well, this is going to be one shell of a collaboration. So,
yeah, guys, if you don't know Bront, definitely go check out his channel. Link in the description and top pin comment as always. And we just collabed there. And if you liked that pun joke, you get one at the start of every video at a minimum, if not many more sprinkled throughout. One of the couple creators I consistently still watch. You guys know I don't consume as much content as I should, but truly brilliant and an incredible style. There's really no other CC in the game like it, who has the passion, the casualness, the friendliness. It's perfect. We're talking turtles. We got to talk turtles, right? I have more fun playing Raid. I started playing Raid in 2019. There's been an on and off relationship with it at moments. This TMNT collab is the best, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Polarium and Raid are at its best when there are interesting champions on the line that people think they have a reasonable chance of getting. And, you know, fun events to do them. And you can certainly argue whether or not all these events that are, you know, for the most part doing the same thing, fun or not fun, but they've made them interesting. They've kept the turtle thing going for a while. They've given us plenty of options to have some fun with them. And yeah, the turtles are absolutely awesome. The two we were able to get for free really early on, absolutely bangers. I mean, Michelangelo is really, really good on both of my accounts. Donatello is absolutely amazing. So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun so far, and hopefully Leo and Raphael will follow on most accounts.
And that's why we're here today, guys. We need to talk about, is there a chance they're not coming? I think we both think that it's not going to happen, right? They're going to come.
They better.
They better. Like, I think there's going to be fire and blood and hair in the streets. People are going to burn it all down if we don't get some events for them, especially Leo. I got to say, though, we might even already have him on the calendar. We don't know for sure, but if we look here, you guys can see, if you ever want to do this, when you're in like the home area of Play and Play on desktop specifically, you can just click the calendar button. It's not the greatest calendar. I'm going to be honest. I play a lot of games. Raid is the best at certain things, not the best at this calendar, but at least it's there. And you can see we have the April event. It just started, right? Brand new, fresh event today. So far, it looks fairly manageable. You never know, though, with these Titan events. I feel like they can get really tricky. We were just talking about on your channel. Those last few hundred points can get really tight. But we see this, a Heroes Path event. And the only thing they're telling us for now is that you can get pizza points. But you know as well as I do, you can speak to it. You've got all the experience. There's no way it's just pizza points. That's impossible.
Oh, no. That is likely going to be a path for one of the two turtles. And if they follow what they had kind of leaked in Google, that's likely the Leonardo one, because, you know, why else would it be anything else? So they mentioned Leonardo was going to be a path. It made sense to me. I think I was making a video on Saturday that dropped today about it, where I was talking about what's going to happen this weekend. And then the next day, the path event was announced. And it was like, yep, this is exactly what I said might happen. Rather than having a weird midweek path event like they said they were going to, replace a summon rush with a path, which is something they've done. And that hopefully is going to be the Leonardo event. In fact, there's a chance it could be Raphael we were talking about before. I think that is going to have people rioting in the streets almost as much if it's not Leonardo.
Yeah, I think I agree with every single word you said, and I really think it comes down to one thing. Path events are much harder than deck events. There's nothing more to it, right? Especially, you have so much, I feel like they would have to completely reform the point system, which of course there is variance event to event, but you know, it would have to be a huge departure on a deck to make it so crazy like that you would reward a Leo, because he's so strong. And a lot of people said, well, are they definitely going to run an event? Usually outside of like the Odin or the Shredder or like that one, you know, Karosa, like that, then maybe it's just a champ chase, right? But for the other ones, there's always like an avenue, whether it's accessible, you know, doable for all accounts. Depends how much you saved and how much you might be willing to make up for not saving. But it's unthinkable there wouldn't be some way to get it, especially when it's probably their most successful and most desired collab ever. And it's built around, yes, there are 6 characters, but it's a foursome. You want the 4 turtles. These are the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You want every color. You want all 4 Renaissance painters. You want all 4 guys. You want each weapon. You need the collection. That's what we're doing. So I think it's undeniable it's happening. What I think is going on, and I think you're going to agree with me, but I want to hear the only reason. So when the original leak, I think it was like 6 weeks ago now, and then they like kind of re-leaked it like 3.5 weeks ago. It was called the Swordmaster Path event. Like, it already had a style. Like, he's got his little, what is it, dual katanas? How do you describe his weapons? Like, that already existed. And I think they're just playing coy and playing their cards close to the vest because people would just start hyper saving the last little bit they could and min-maxing all that preparations if they announced Leo this early. They're announcing the Hero's Path, but then they're not giving us anything else, which I feel like comes back around and maybe overplays their hand, that they're like hiding something from us because it's going to be him. Maybe I'm just really optimistic. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I really do think it's probably the Path event, because they even mentioned that parts of the leak were correct, but not everything, because the dates were a problem.
Yeah.
And again, that would match up with the fact that in theory, the other dates said Tuesday through Friday, which honestly makes no sense for a Path event. So I looked at that and said, that doesn't make any sense at all in the first place. And then, then they pulled it back and said, this is what's going on. So it's nice to see that they have actually at least said that there will be guaranteed events still. They have gone public about that. Just knowing that you're replacing the Summon Rush makes sense to have the Path event there. So that's what I thought would be more likely, unless they were going to do, which to be fair, they've done that before too, have a Path event in the middle of the week and then have another shard event where you have to pull for April points at the end of the week and then have another one some other time for the week too. That doesn't seem very likely, particularly because I think they are aware that April is one of the least desirable champions from the thing. Everyone wants Shredder because he's Shredder. Everyone wants the Turtles because they're the Turtles. April was kind of the, why wasn't this Master Splinter or somebody else? Casey Jones shows up, but we already have Casey Jones, sort of. There's stuff. By the way, that's a big thing I think they missed on as well. I think they could have easily done a Splitter skin for Nishak or something like that.
Yes.
And I think they totally could have done like a Casey Jones skin for Masked Fearmonger. Not that anyone would actually buy that, because Masked Fearmonger is absolutely horrible, but they could have done it, or sold it as a pack of, here is the skins of the other champions for the Turtles for these other epics and legendaries. Boom, you're done. Because we do have Rocksteady and Bebop as close enough in the Skinwalkers as well. So you had other options for that sort of thing. And I think they really missed on that. But yeah, and then so that leaves, if this one is going to be the Leo, where is Raphael going to fall? And by the initial date, they said the next week. Once you pull up, you were pulling up something I sent you earlier. And we
I want to pull that up. And that one thing I wanted to say about dates specifically. So if we just look at this calendar one more time. So I actually saw, I'm pretty sure with the leaks for Leo, they were two different ones. There's one that said the 6th to the 9th, and there's one that said the 7th to the 10th. All of it seemed weird, because I think April, they said the 5th or the 6th, which it ended up being the 6th. There was like a weird variety to that to begin with, and it just didn't make any sense. It's like, how could it start at the same time? And we're kind of seeing it play out how it should have played out, right? Okay, so very quickly, I just wanted to read this to you. This was, if you missed it, this was like an official announcement from them, this specific part right here. And you're going to see, they said, clearing up some confusion, because they knew they had the leaks, whether those were unintentional or not. It said, you may have heard some rumors about the upcoming events that would provide guaranteed ways of obtaining specific TMNT champs. We can confirm that several such events indeed are planned, though their dates have been adjusted. That kind of plays into exactly what we thought. They didn't say the events have been adjusted. The dates have been adjusted. We saw the whole, whatever it was, the marketing style for Swordmaster Path event. That clearly is Leo. Hothead Deck of Fate. That's clearly Raph, Hothead. And these are the only two ones we haven't gotten yet. So they're not saying like those were incorrect. They're just saying the dates. So like, I think it was the 6th to the 9th or the 7th to the 10th. And I think Raph, they said the 13th to the 16th. Expect those to change a bit, which we don't even mind. It's going to be nicer for us. But they're not saying those events are changing. As many of you know, we usually don't share detailed information, as schedules are always subject to change. That's why for most accurate updates on upcoming events and activities, keep following official news, social media, blah, blah. But it kind of feels like they're saying like, hey, we're trying to be nice here, but we can't directly tell you because that's not the Raid way. Which I've been telling people the whole time. They're like, wait, but is this real? Is this real? And I'm like, nothing's real in Raid until it's live in the game. But it feels really real.
Yeah. So in the April event there, this is where we're talking about the RAF event. So we know there's going to be a path this coming weekend. So that's likely going to be the Leonardo path. There's going to be pizza points in it because it's shard pulls. The problem with Decks of Fate for champions is there's not a lot of room to put pizza points in there.
There's only so many cards,
Yeah, so my theory is that the week afterwards, the 13th to the 19th, will not be where the RAF is. It will instead be on the 20th or 24th, where there's not a lot of other pizza points. So
Yeah.
instead, the April one will be wrapping up, and then the RAF one shows up. And unfortunately, I suspect that one is going to involve souls. And if that matches what the Freya one does, you're going to want 40 to 50 immortal souls, or the equivalent in points. Eternal soul stones are about 5 times as many points as a mortal soul stone, and a mortal soul stone is going to be 1/10 of an immortal soul stone. What Fastidious has got right there might not be quite enough.
I'm just about there. This should be like these are about 900 points each. At least the last one it was for Gracchus. So this is like about 19,000 points.
For Freya, they were 800. So it might be 800.
Yeah, maybe.
That's kind of what
I would say if you're
under.
saving and you're ready and you've got extra stuff here, you know, we can pick up a couple. Just stay on top of it. I think you're gonna be fine. Remember, you don't need to flip 40 cards through souls. You probably need to flip 30 to 35 cards, depending on how much energy you saved. And one thing I'm gonna flex on Bront right now is I've been saving energy in a pretty major way. I'm no Kraken, but we're at like over 25K now. So maybe exactly 25K actually. I've been really on top of it, dating back 2.5 months. Whenever the TMNT was announced, actually, I'll be honest, whenever I knew about it, because I had to do a sponsored video for it, I was like, all right, I'm saving all the energy I could save. But I think you just hit on all the right points. And I think we can kind of already start bringing it home there. I think what you guys should do is proceed cautiously, optimistically, but it does seem like everything's lining up the way we thought, and then potentially are already, I think, in a more generous way than we might have hoped, and potentially even far more generous. So just to make that clear, you're nodding because you know what I'm saying, but if this indeed is the Leo event, I didn't want April, but I mean, you can do a normal event if you're a saver as a free-to-play and an experienced player, or certainly if you're a spender and a saver and you're just prepared, and I think a lot of us are because we care about this. So, like, I don't care about April, but if I can pick up like a free 250 pizza points on my way to Leonardo, which I was clearly going to do anyway, all of a sudden April gets really doable, right? If it's, when you say like, if it's this 1750 event, 1800, like we see, you only need 1500 points, probably it's 200 minimum from this path event. It starts feeling a lot more doable, right? It's not like an either or. It does feel like a pretty strict double dip. And if they have any amount of pizza points in a deck of fate, if it's around the 20th, like you said, if it's a week off what they originally said, I mean, that could line up extremely well. And that would be something I'll probably make a whole video about it and like clap for a few seconds for playing. If they make it that you have a final chance to get the last 3 units that have not had a traditional way to access them. Obviously, Shredder was the Chant Chase, but that's kind of what you expect out of like the special Void Legendary, which he was clearly, they set him up to be. If they're letting us get those last 3 with a fair overlap that doesn't require you to separately drain resources, doesn't that feel really good?
Yeah, it's, I mean, it's obviously going to drain a ton of resources, but they obviously knew that we were saving up for this stuff, and that's fine. And again, Polarium's job is to make us spend resources, but it's also playing the game is designed to make you spend resources. And if all you're doing is hoarding resources, are you playing the game at some point in time? So, you know, have some fun pulling these shards, have some fun on the path. The one thing I do want to warn people about ahead of time too, don't expect the whatever events they're going to have during this summon path everyone's going to want to pull, expect it to be absolutely amazing, because I fully expect that a lot of people are going to be pulling, and much like some fusion champions that they've done before, where it's been like, hey, we know everyone's going for this fusion, so this summon rush here has got champions that are kind of like A- tier or B tier type stuff.
Don't expect it to be like a 20 sacred for a Newt guarantee. Like, it's gonna be.
Or don't expect Newt to be rate up. Expect it to be rate up on like you know, to call out to another video we are talking about, like a Brogni or a Valkyrie, or you know, a champion that's a good champion people might want to get, but not a champion that someone says this is going to be account changing unless you are so early that it's one of your first couple of legendaries type champion.
I think that's a really good way to end it. Like, assuming it goes the way we want, we're all being optimistic, but I think we're being a little realistic too. One thing we can definitely ground ourselves in is like, it is not going to be like the juiciest progressive of all time, or any kind of guarantee, or some special 2x by 10x. It's going to be something fine. Hopefully there's one option we're all happy to click, because you got to click something, or we just click nothing and we just let it be normal, you know?
The one thing I do think they might still do is it might still also be because since Leonardo being the path, it might be Shredder as
True.
a raid up
For
option.
void,
That would
yeah.
at least make sense, and
Yeah.
definitely go in on if people want to pull voids.
Yeah, I think that's also a very good point. Maybe they'll give us Raph as an option for the normal currencies, right? Like that'd be cool. Maybe a chance to get Donatello for people that missed him with the fusion, right? There could be stuff like that. But yeah, I just certainly wouldn't expect. It's not going to be Armands, you know.
Not your Taurus, not your Marishkas, not that type of stuff. Yeah.
Anyway, I appreciate this so much. Thank you for joining. I've got a little special thing. I told you a little bit about it, but I haven't shown you yet. And the viewers probably have seen the video. I think this will come out after. But in case you made it to the end and you haven't seen the video, I got Shredder. So that's really cool. Yeah, I wasn't even on my radar. I'm like, I mean, everything I've done is saved for this, but just with the stuff I had fused, I pulled all my ancients to win the group because I'll just show you really quick and we'll claim it here in the video. Yeah, here you go. I mean, pretty cool. Yeah, you're right. I won't click it. I'll wait. But so yeah, I really want that medal. I never thought I'd have a chance to get that. I don't know. Of course, I don't have a mythic relic, but I really want that medal and I want that avatar. So what do you think? Let's end on this. Let's on a very light note. What do you think about the avatar that it's Shredder? I think it should have been Leo, or I think that could have been a fun opportunity. If the avatar was Splinter, wouldn't have that been really fun?
That would have been amusing. But
Yeah.
I mean, I would not be surprised because I think they mentioned that, well, you can get the avatar from, I think, April from the April event. So I would not be surprised if there's a Leo avatar available.
Oh, really?
Although they gave that one away as a community, because there was a community thing that they gave the Leo avatar, I believe, from. You can actually go check and see, because if you look at, go into your avatar there, player AMID, I think, there we go. Maybe not.
There's the Michelangelo one from the sign-in.
So it's just the Michelangelo one. So maybe they didn't.
Yeah.
So maybe that might show up in the path. That would make some sense.
Final note, because it's all about Leo. You got to put Leo on the thumbnail. You got to talk about Leo 50% of every video. You know, I could be doing a guide on a rerun guide on my old best video ever, which was a Claude Beast Feeder, and I would have to nowadays find a way to mention Leo 7 times. So with the path, fully expect, honestly, because if they do it, which we think they're going to do, it's going to be Leo down one side, probably 5-star soul down the other, and then for the really juicy stuff, maybe like a special Leo avatar on the bottom in the middle. If you can imagine the Crocod, where his soul was on one side, and we had Pac-Master on the other, and then you could get that cool little avatar, I think it's going to look a lot like that. Or Balar, very similar to Balar, the Lost, his path. I think it will look like that. And actually, final note, I've done a decent amount of research, asked the community, started watching old YouTube videos when I wasn't playing Raid, like from 2 years ago, whenever they started these things. The most I ever found to max out the points just through zoning was 25 Sacreds. It was this guy. It was Fatalis Blade Master, which does have some lineup, right? Because he was like a very, very good Void Legendary from a collab about a year ago. He took, if you didn't do any, whether it was Champ Training or Dungeon Divers at the time, if you just did Sacreds, the way they did the math, you need to do 25 Sacreds. So that was the previous most ever. But have no fear. I think that's the absolute max. And the highest we've seen recently is like 18 to 22. And you can still earn, I think some people are forgetting, you can still earn points from not summoning or not doing souls. You're not going to get the majority that way. But, you know, if you've got gems saved up, if you've got any overflow, if you're willing to spend a little money for that, that's another way to do it, right? And that's also, you're going to be getting resources you probably need. So that's the last thing I would say. Just like brace yourselves. Don't expect it to be easy. Honestly, I think if it was like 15 Sacreds or 18, like whatever Pac-Master was, maybe he was 16, that's like a little cheap for how good Leo is. Like Leo's remarkably good. Don't you agree?
Oh yeah, Leo's great. And obviously he'll just help the other turtles. And ideally at this point, anyone going for Leo probably has at least the other 2 turtles that have been free to get. So he'll go with those 2. And even if you end up not getting Raph, the 3 turtles will still dominate content together with just the 3 of them.
They synergize
Absolutely.
so well, those 3 already. Yeah. And then, if you could get Raph, you could just like run like Leo Raph Donatello would do so much too.
And if for some reason April becomes something that you can do, why not get a free legendary? You know, I mean, not saying necessarily like break your account for it, but you know what? If it's looking like you might be able to do it, if you stretch yourself a little bit, it's a free guaranteed legendary that's limited edition as well. It's not like a fusion where you know what, that fusion is going to happen later on.
Yeah.
April.
I'm just going to pull it anyway because I only pull fusion champs. It's not going to be like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Great thing to end on, and that's the final advice from me and Bron, and then I'm letting you leave, and I'm going to dinner. Just do April for this week. At least wait till this weekend and see if it is Leo, because then it's like you're going to do Leo anyway if you're one of those people like many of us, and then you're going to be halfway done with the freaking April fusion Titan event. So thank you so much, Bron. Anything you want to share about upcoming stuff, or are we good to go?
No, that's been a lot of fun. And in fact, this all started again because I just reached out to him to wish him a happy birthday like 3 days after my birthday, which was kind of cool. So we're both September birthday boys. And, you know, it's been a lot of fun talking with you, getting to know you, and welcoming you in the raid community. So it's been great doing this type of stuff. And it's great we can hop on and talk raid and turtles.
Absolutely. Always good to talk to you. Always good to talk turtles. Even better to do both at the same time. Guys, we filmed another video on Bron's channel. You're not going to want to miss it. We talked about very surprising champs. So a lot of them are already like good champs, but now that we had them on his free-to-play account, on my account here, we're like, how is it even this much better? How is this champ this much stronger for my account than I anticipated? You don't want to miss it. Subscribe to Bron, like this video. If you're not yet playing Raid, you got to use my link in the description, the top, and comments. It's the best link in the land. You won't regret it. Thank you guys. Share with your mother, and we'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.